have decided to focus on key accomplishments of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, which includes the departments and the divisions of the ministry. First, I will focus on the accomplishments of the departments, Education, Culture, Youth and Sports. Thereafter, I will focus on some of the division accomplishments. I have decided to look at key accomplishments, some of them that are more visible, and I would like to highlight the following. One of the most important achievements of the Department of Education in 2023 was most naturally the presenting of the draft budget on higher education to the Central Committee of Parliament in August 2023. Another important achievement of the ministry, the Department of Education in 2023 was the finalization of the special needs education policy. Madam Chair, 3 events of major significance took place for the Department of Culture in 2023. One is the Culture Creative Industry Forum, the celebrations around Flag Day, Emancipation Day, and St. Martin Day, and most naturally, the Sage Cultural Award. And then you would see by the following slide, highlights of the 4th Annual Creative Industry Forum. And you can see then by slide 7, observances of the St. Martin culture and identity during Flag Day. The display on slide 8 shows Emancipation Day. And on slide 9, you can see the cultural parade that took place in 2023. The following slide also shows St. Martin Day celebrations. And the final, for now, for the culture, you would see the Cultural Sage Awards. On slide 12, for the Department of Youth, various activities were implemented to enhance meaningful youth participation. Children's rights campaigns took place. And in 2023, over 500 students were engaged through presentations, events, and art activities on children's rights. In addition, the Children's Rights Memorandum of Understanding between the islands of the Dutch Kingdom was signed, and this was to extend the cooperation for another 5 years. The Department of Youth will continue promoting children's rights with activities in collaboration with youth stakeholders to develop a children's rights action plan for 2024. Youth collaborative events in 2023. Various youth collaborative events were held. A short film, What If I Told You, was produced, and the official Children's Day celebration was hosted by the leading cast of the short film. In 2024, the youth sector will continue to enhance meaningful youth participation within the community. In regards to meaningful youth participation, MYP, the following. In 2023, an introduction training on meaningful youth participation was developed. The further development of training models will continue and will be launched in 2024 to guide government policy workers on how to include young people in policy development. The following. Various opportunities were provided for the youth to participate in skill building programs in 2023. The Building Outreach Program and Placement, the Business Outreach and Placement Program took place. And in 2023, the Business Outreach and Placement Program placed 130 young people from the ages 16 to 24 to gain work experiences in the program. A noteworthy highlight of the 2023 program is the fact that the Department of Youth accommodated youth with special needs of the Sister Basilia Center for the first time in the history of the BUP program. In 2023, the first phase of a website was developed. The website can be considered a digital extension of the Youth Hub, making it a one-stop shop where youth and the general public can find youth-related information about St. Martin. We can see by the following slide the 4 finalized research/activity plans that took place, and we also completed the field at Raoul Illich. We also completed the renovation of the pool at Raoul Illich and the deck at Raoul Illich, the pool and deck at Raoul Illich. We also see that the Special Olympics, St. Martin participated in the Special Olympics in Berlin and the Kingdom Games. I am pleased to inform the public of the purchasing of a boxing ring for St. Martin, because St. Martin did not have one and always had to use the one from the French side and pay for that use.
Judicial Affairs Department was able to achieve the following: the ankle bracelet monitoring policy and the successful recruitment of 2 legal policy officers and 1 support officer. The police force of St. Martin for 2023 highlights the expansion of the CCTV, securing ICT systems, organizing an analysis congress and various trainings, training sessions for BPZ and the detective department, including those for community police officers. The Point Blanche Prison and House of Detention highlights the following for 2023: designing and procurement of the new prison project with UNOPS. As we are aware, the ministry is in the process of building a new prison together with the assistance of the Netherlands and UNOPS. Moving on, Madam Chair Lady, through you, I'd like to give highlights with regards to the Immigration and Border Protection Services. They'd like to highlight the initiation of the recruitment process for the director of IBP, and this has successfully been concluded after experiencing instability for many years with acting department heads. However, we do appreciate those who held this position and did their best. We are pleased that Mr. Justin Levinstone has assumed this leadership position, spearheading the IBP team. Next to IBP is the Customs Department with the enforcement of customs legislations. Also with IBP, we are proud of the implementation of the RADEX system, which brought a much needed closure to the mishaps that were being experienced before with border management, or the border management system. We move on through you, Madam Chair Lady, to the Financial Intelligence Unit, or FIU, also known as MOT. Their highlights for 2023: carrying out the National Risk Assessment, preparations for the mutual evaluation of FIU of the Kingdom Conference, project preparations for CFATF mutual evaluation, which will be held in September of this year, preparing the draft anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing, or AML, and CFT laws. All these acronyms. I now move on through you, Madam Chair Lady, to the focus points for the Ministry of Justice for 2024. We begin with the Staff Bureau. The Staff Bureau is focusing on the completion of employee placement process, or the LBAs, of Phase 1. Just this morning, we did have the successful signing of another batch of 25. This is batch 3. Batch 4 is also moving through the chains so that we will get that to His Excellency within short. Congratulations once again to all justice personnel who has to date received their LBAs, and we continue to push as much as we can to see that others will receive those in an expeditious manner. Implementation of the enhanced financial management guidelines regarding the administration of the crime fund, improve work processes and overall compliance with accountability ordinance, improved budgeting principles towards policy-based budget objectives, enhancement of staff within the ministry HR training plan for 2024 and 2025. Following on to the Judicial Affairs Department, we are busy with recruiting staff for critical vacancies and to improve work processes. The Police Force of St. Martin 2024 focuses on the recruitment of staff for critical functions, graduation for the BayPay O or BayPay 05, and commencement of BayPay 06, enhancement of the ICT system, procurement of the services vehicles, so a fleet replacement is in process, and I do believe that is complemented by CapEx. CCTV expansion project.
For all of life's twists, turns, and defining moments, RBC is open for all of you. SXM, your social and health insurances. SXM, your social and health insurances.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah, your social and health insurances.
You be talking for me?
Parents, you see the last video that has been going around with the tiny little girl getting all them licks from them children? She's so small. If she got broken bones, something is wrong. They beat that poor child, right? She couldn't even help herself. They beat that poor child. Lord, they beat her. You see that video? That video got me on the edge. It is so, I am so angry, right? That I had to come and make a video this morning. I don't make videos. I don't share these things. My children, right? My son, my first pregnancy was traumatizing. I swore I wasn't going to have children again. I vomited for 9 months. I was in the hospital for 5 months. I went through 27 bags of IV. I lost weight. It was traumatizing. It was terrible. I vomit till the day I give birth. While I pushing, I vomiting. It was a hard pregnancy. I went, all right, we have another child. I vomit for 6 months. It was a risky pregnancy. I had to take an injection every day until that child came out. Actually, 6 weeks after she came out, I still had to take the injections. All my pregnancies is traumatizing, terrible, high risk. Parents, talk to your children. Discipline your children. Teach them right from wrong. Keep talking and talking and talking and talking. They're going to understand. They're going to take in stuff. Trust me. They're going to take it in. They might still do craziness, but they're going to take it in. They're going to know right from wrong. My son is very humble and timid. I've been through a lot with my son because of his so-called ADHD situation. My son is being homeschooled privately now for my fear of him going to those schools up there. If my child had to go MPC or somewhere, we're going to end up jail. It's simple as that. He is too timid, too nice. He knows. If I'm arguing, if I cuss him in traffic, he just tell me, Mommy, Jesus ain't like that. He knows right from wrong. My son gets his phone on a Friday afternoon after school, and I take it back on a Sunday. I just really try with my children. If one of all your children, I talking to all you parents, if one of all your children decide that they come in to put their hands on my children, we are going to jail.
No, we don't have any indication what the cause of the fire was.
The report came in at what time to your station?
The report came in shortly after midday. We got a call that there's a bush fire hillside in Tucker Garden. Within a minute or two, a truck was dispatched and left the fire station direction with the region in the hillside.
It was an all-day event for the firefighters involved. Approximately how many of them were actually battling the blaze?
Well, actually, we had more than 20 firefighters involved in this fire.
Was at any time assistance requested from the Friendside Fire Department?
At no time, our fire department outside requested assistance from the front side. At no point in time, we didn't see the need for requesting assistance from the front side. We had enough resources to deal with this fire.
And you're saying that there is no indication at this time as to how the fire started. However, one must take into consideration the fact that this is not the first time that the hill is engulfed.
That is true. This fire we have here multiple times. In the past, it was every year. Now it kind of spread out a little more further apart. The senior firefighters, for sure, are well experienced with this fire. We know exactly how it behaves time after time. So once the fire is up on the hillside, there's very, very little we can do. What we usually do, we monitor the fire as they come closer to the buildings, which have roads, and then the fire department will be monitoring the situation there to make sure no buildings get burned down.
Was there any time that the fire was a threat to any buildings in the surroundings?
In the initial stage, in the mid-region side, it was pretty close to structures on that side. We dealt with that, and then we moved over to Tucker Garden. It came close to a house as well. We dealt with that in the earlier part of the day. In the evening time, it came down on the Tucker Garden side, close to the roadside. It threatened gas cane. We make sure we do what we always do, is protect gas cane. And it threatened the wooden house on the hillside too, up by the Matthews, by areas that had buildings that were threatening. Like I said, we always strategize and put the resources in place, and we know how the fire is going to behave, and we go out there and make sure protect the buildings that no one lose their property. I would like to thank all the firefighters for their input and their resilience that they displayed. It was more than 13, 14 hours we were out there fighting and battling this fire, and also for the public for adhering and bearing with us, especially with the closing off of the Tucker Garden Road and causing much inconvenience for the residents in the area.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah. Your social and health insurances. of life's twists, turns, and defining moments, RBC is a bed for all of you.
President Louis Mussington, Senator Annie Petus, and Prefect Vincent Bertin visited the Lassavan Fire Station to take stock of immediate needs and the project to create the future Territorial Fire Service and Rescue, STIS, of Saint Martin. The firefighters welcomed this visit with enthusiasm, expressing their impatience with the implementation of the new STIS. The collectivity and the state have reaffirmed their commitment to bringing this project to completion as soon as possible, aware of the urgency of the needs. The collectivity in charge of renovating the barracks underlined its intention to involve users of the site in this process, particularly on the issue of human resources. This participatory approach aims to guarantee a better match between operational needs and planned developments. Aware of the urgency of the situation, the collectivity is committed to mobilizing all necessary means to start the work as quickly as possible. A scoping meeting will be organized soon to clarify the contours of this approach and implement the first concrete actions.
Notice that the presentation will be quite similar to the one at Central Committee, as we provided all the information that we had. What was spent within the past week. What was done was done. So I would just do an overview on what was presented and I guess enlighten the viewing and listening public. We have some of the key achievements as stated: the one-time increase of minimum wage, the increase of the AOV pension, the draft amendment to the Civil Code, which is at the SED, the draft tax tourist levy, which is at the SED, the hosting of the largest national job fair entrepreneurship program, which hired upwards of 100 persons on the spot, the finalization of reparation legislation for the CPI indexation, the dialogue with key stakeholders for the SAHA, the General Health Insurance or Atley Care, the pilot project that we did with the Ministry of Justice, the one-stop shop, and establishing the GP after our care clinic. Other key achievements were the community development, the basketball lights, rims, backboard projects, the community day where we take members from the department and bring them to the community to register for social aid, financial aid, legal aid, and educate them more on the ministry. The Nutri Kids Healthy Breakfast School program, we secured financing for the mental health project, the extension of the home repair program where we repaired homes for the vulnerable groups within the community and our seniors. We also did the Smart Tech Healthy program for the seniors, the Smart Tech program for the seniors, the Senior Health Fair, and the Women's Self-Defense classes. Here we have a comparison of the budget with expenses for 2023, the actuals, and the projected, the budget for 2024. We see that the expenses for 2023 went from 98,461,918. The actuals was 91,893,820, and we budgeted 100,568,114 for 2024. We realized the incomes are much less. VSI is a ministry of expense, sickness insurance, which we will dive into more often later down. We see the income went from 1.4 million. The actuals in 2023 was 2 million plus, and the budgeted amount we have is 1.4 million. We move to the revenues. We have the fees of 75,000, the actuals of 55,895. We budgeted for 2024 75,000. The miscellaneous from 17 to actuals of 0. So this year we budgeted 0. The work permits went from 1.3 The actuals was 1.9, so we budgeted a 1.3. Through you, Madam Chair, the Honorable MP Lamila De Weaver questioned why didn't we take into account the 1.9, and we explained that this was due to the rapid permit process for major construction project that has a national interest, such as the airport, hospital, and so forth. We do not foresee this rapid procedure going throughout the entire 2024, hence the budget staying the same. Ambulance fees budgeted 40,000, the actuals was 59, and we budgeted 40,000 for 2024. We moved to personnel costs. We went from 12 presumed actuals for 2023 and the budgeted. We had 12,678,728. In 2024, what we have budgeted is 16,095,346. In subsidies, we have the actuals at 1.1 million, budgeted for 2023, 1.5 million, and we kept the same budget for 2024 at 1.5 million. Social Security and Health, here's the majority of our expenses. We had budgeted for 2023, 35.5 million. And in 2024, you see here we have a sum of 36,265,000 budgeted. For goods and services, I'm talking the budgeted amount was 9.3 million. The actual was 4.9, so we budgeted 9.1 million. Bringing the total cost for VSA, the actual was 49,928,292. Budgeted was 60,961,918. And for 2024, we budgeted 63,068,114. For sickness insurance for civil servants, we have 37.5 million that was budgeted in 2023, and that is the same that is budgeted for 2024. So the total budget for 2023, 98,461,918. Budgeted for 2024, 100,561,114. Here we have a graph of the personnel costs, subsidies. We have the Social Security, health insurance, goods and services, and the sickness insurance. Here we have a better diagram that breaks down sickness insurance for civil servants is 37% of our allocated budget. Personnel costs, 16% of our allocated budget. The subsidies, 2%. The Social Security and health insurance, 36%. And goods and services is 9% of our allocated budget.